Hey guys, this is Jessica from Sacred Fox. Welcome back to another pick a card reading. I'm happy to have you back all on board. Today's reading is going to be how can you take steps to improve your mental health? So this topic is kind of one that's close to home and one that I kind of wanted to share with you guys. Now, sometimes we can feel a little bit lost when it comes to how can we continue to improve ourselves, or maybe there's so many options that we have. And that would kind of leave us a little bit confused as to what steps we need to take next. But this reading is going to kind of dive into that a little bit and give you a little bit of information on maybe some of the situations you're going through, maybe shift a little bit of perspective for you there, and hopefully help you on your way to feeling better and moving forward in your life productively. Now, I just want to put a little disclaimer out there that this is no way, shape, or form a replacement for medication, therapy, or any professional help. This is simply going to help to guide you. And so, being a general reading, sometimes the messages might not apply to you in some senses, but really apply to you in other senses. I just would really love you to take what you need from this reading. And I would also love to hear from you in the comments. If you found that it resonated with you, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you've picked and let me know how it's pertained to you. If you have any suggestions for future pick card readings, I'm open to hear that as well. And subscribe for more. So right off the bat here, we have 5 piles. Go ahead and choose whichever pile you're intuitively drawn to, or if there's a specific little charm on here that you're drawn to, you can go ahead and fast forward to the timestamp that I provide in the description. Enjoy your reading, and I'll see you next time. Okay. All right, so we're gonna take one of these guys too. Okay, so right off the top, we have, this is pile number 1, we have Venus. So this is the planet Venus. Venus embodies family, femininity, sort of feeling like you kind of are in touch with your emotions and your nurturing aspects and things like that. So it embodies sort of like that more yin energy of the nurturing, the kindness, the empathy, everything like that, as well as like high levels of emotion and intensity in that regard. So keep that in mind, as I'll keep that in mind as we kind of progress through our reading today. But that's the little sided dice that you chose. I don't know how many sides it has. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, okay, 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at some of the things that we have. So we have selling out as one of the ones that we have here. We have the Page of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Pentacles upright. We have the Two of Swords reversed, the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles, and we have the Magician reversed as well. So taking a look at some of these cards, what I'm kind of getting is that you work really, really hard. And you work so hard that sometimes you are overburdened, but you keep going because you have this desire and this need to make yourself as well as other people in your life feel secure. So I'm seeing that you're really dedicated to family and dedicated to the people around you and creating a solid foundation for those in your life. And that's really what I'm getting here. Just because there's so many pentacle cards in here, the pentacles to me is just like this logical, handle the finances, handle the logistics of things in life and in family members and everything like that. I am seeing that there is this very strong sort of entrepreneurial, really hardworking aspect of yourself that's in here, almost to the point of being self-sacrificial. I'm just gonna have a sip of tea. So what I'm seeing is some of the heavier things you might be dealing with is we have the Magician here. And this card's reversed. So when it's reversed, that tells me that there's some energy that's stuck inside. So to me, the Magician is kind of like an imbalance of power or being uncertain of what you're actually able to harness and have control over. Whereas like you might have a lot of abilities and a lot of skills in many different areas, but I'm seeing that you're having a hard time understanding what is important to you and what you really want to take control over in your life. Maybe there might be a little bit of too much control because you feel like you need this sense of stability. So you need to like make sure that you know what's happening at all times. So you're like maybe a little bit more paranoid of things that appear to be illusionary. So make sure that you don't get caught up in the illusions of your mind or what you want your life to be without understanding the repercussions of kind of blocking out that more free-minded, open-minded spirit. Because I'm seeing that, yeah, the Ten of Pentacles, to me, it says, yeah, I'm fairly structurally stable in terms of my life, in terms of my family, in terms of what's going on around me. I'm seeing that there is some stability in that sense because that Ten of Pentacles is there. But to me, just being right beside the Magician, I'm seeing that maybe you might be a little bit of a workaholic and you don't allow yourself to relax and rest in the way that you should, because maybe you constantly feel like you might not have a purpose if you're not working. If that makes sense, or you're not like following your dreams, or you're not doing as much as you possibly can. Because I feel like you might have a harder time sitting still. When I see this card, like the Ten of Wands, that is just like you are willing to carry all of the wands on your back, even if it catches you on fire. And it's really starting to weigh on you, and it's starting to create a sense of discord for you. Whereas like before, you felt like maybe, yeah, you could take care of everything around you and everything in your life, but now it's starting to feel like it's too much. But I don't want you to think that you're in a place of instability, because the Ten of Pentacles is here. Just know that you do have that financial and that life stability that's here, which is super important. I don't want you to feel like it's not enough, because honestly, I'm here to tell you that it's a lot better than a lot of circumstances that other people have been through. And I'm seeing that you're actually okay in this regard. But I'm seeing that because of this, like this hard work and this stagnation, it's creating this confusion inside of you about like, who am I without my hard work? Or I've kind of like reached this point where I'm comfortable now, and I feel like I need to keep piling it on, but it's just not making me feel happy anymore. Like it's maybe you feel like you need to change. Because when I see the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, I'm seeing that, yeah, you worked hard to get where you are. The tens represent sort of like the end goal of each suit. And it's kind of like you've kind of come to the end of this journey where you've worked your butt off and you've carried a lot of burdens for yourself and for other people. And you've reached this place of security. But at the same time, I feel like you're selling yourself short, because you've reached this end of security, but you're not necessarily feeling like this is still the path you want to take. I feel like you're kind of ready for something new, and something that can allow you to feel like you're in control again. Because that Magician here, it's just like, okay, like, what is my purpose? Like, why am I here again? It's kind of just representing sort of like the burdens of the journey that you've taken and brought you to this specific point. So when I see the selling out card, it's just like, are you selling yourself short because you want to continue to feel that sense of security? Like, is there something that you feel like is missing in your life? Because I am seeing that just with the Wands card here, and especially the Ten of Wands, that to me can also be representative of quite fiery energy. So it can be like anxious and anxiety about your stability and about, you know, where you are in life. And maybe you have a hard time shifting and changing where you're at and what you're doing in life, because it's what you feel comfortable with, it's what you feel safe with, and it's something that you've carried through your life knowing and feeling confident in, and you've kind of built yourself up to this point. But I'm not sure if it's serving you anymore. I'm not sure if it's brought you to this place where you're being like, okay, yeah, you know what? Like, I'm actually happy here. I'm feeling like, yeah, there was a lot of journey along the way, but maybe it's not what you expected it to look like. And maybe like the hard work that you put in has kind of left you lacking in terms of what you're able to confront within yourself. So like, I really want to kind of get into that with these three cards over here. The Two of Swords is representing kind of being stuck in a situation. And when I see the Two of Swords upside down, to me, that says you're ready to take off the blindfold. You're ready to see situation as it is, and you're willing to like maybe look at like taking time and spending time by yourself and really contemplating about like some of those mental choices that you have to make. Because when I see like the Two of Swords, like, to me that represents like internal conflict. Being a reverse card, that is an internal conflict thing. And also being the only swords that is in this kind of whole spread, to me is just like, okay, this is like something, this is a mental battle that you're kind of dealing with, and maybe you're having a hard time taking that time for yourself to really understand where this is coming from, and just allow yourself to take off that blindfold. You're ready to spend time by yourself and reevaluate and understand what you need in life in order to feel happy and successful. Because this Queen of Pentacles energy to me, that says, I take care of people and I take care of the people around me. But at this time, I feel like you're having a hard time feeling like you're having any particular value in that, where you might be feeling overly emotional or confused about your decisions. Whereas like before, you were maybe feeling a lot more confident in just making a choice and being like, yeah, you know what, I can do this. Like I can push through and I can understand and I can help guide others and myself. But I'm feeling like there's this doubt in this energy. And it's interesting because like with the Venus energy, it's like that kind, caring energy that's for people around you. Maybe you don't feel like you're as useful, I guess, as you used to be, or you're feeling like there's like a lack of confidence in yourself in that regard, where you're like, okay, yeah, you know what, I really would love to get back to this space where I feel like I kind of have more control over life, and that really does go with the Magician as well. But I feel like this has been situational, and I'm not saying that this is something that you're going to be stuck in or trapped in by any means, but I feel like you need to continue to allow your mind and your world to expand so that you can continue to be interested in things and interested in life. I feel like you've completed this pursuit and you're feeling stagnant. You're like, okay, I'm here and I'm working hard and I'm here and I'm working hard. But you're still like, you're like, who actually am I though? Like, who am I when I step away from all of this space? And am I able to start again? And am I able to kind of like move forward with some of the things that I want to grow in? And to me, when I see the Page of Pentacles, this is something that I'm not worried for you at all, because the Page of Pentacles represents somebody that is almost like an eager student, somebody that's willing to learn, somebody that wants to understand, this curious, hardworking individual, which is who you are. I don't doubt for a second that you're a hardworking individual. But there's also sometimes a little bit of a hesitation to start new things because you're not at the 10s, you know? You have to build your way back up there. But I'm seeing that the whole project, the whole challenge of working your way up that ladder is the thing that excites you, the things that get you excited. And you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm eager to learn something new. I'm eager to try something new. But there is this fear of just holding back because there is this uncertainty. You're like, okay, what if I can't do it again? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to make a decision. I can't make a choice right now because I'm just choosing to be blindfolded. But I feel like you're here because you need to hear this message, and you're here to take off the blindfold, evaluate your life, and understand what is next for you. And I'm seeing that, yeah, maybe it might be a new pursuit for you. This could be hobby, this could be career, this could be financial, but I'm seeing that you're ready to kind of take these steps in order to feel like your life is in your control again, and you have variety, and you have fun, and you have interest. And I feel like it'll also take off some of this burden. Okay, like I feel like you've carried enough, you've learned enough. It's time to move forward, and it's time to stop selling yourself short because you've outgrown this, and it's time to just really open your heart. That is going to improve your state of mind greatly because you're going to be allowing yourself to focus on a new project. It's just really about just kind of stepping out and being willing to shift that sort of comfort zone that you have. But I'm not seeing that this is going to be negatively aspected. You're a hard worker, you're a hardworking individual, and you will get to this place again, but with more fulfillment and more happiness than before. And it'll allow you to feel like you have a purpose and you have a journey and you have this like excitement and you have all this potential in your hands and things like that. I feel like, yeah, this is kind of like end of the phase for you. Time for a new start, time for a new phase. So really embrace that page energy of some of that newness, some of that just being okay with maybe not knowing everything going in, and keep your mind open to knowledge and information that's around you, because maybe you're not entirely sure but what this looks like yet, but just keep your heart and mind open. When you feel like a particular pull towards something, take baby steps in the way of understanding maybe that's a route that you can take. So don't feel like you're stuck, because you're definitely not. This is a lot of sort of like your mental space, more of like more than actual situation. This is kind of just like, I also am receiving a message. This could have something to do with retirement as well, and just kind of starting a different phase in life. Not to say that that's necessarily true, but if that applies for anybody out there, happy to hear that. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've got for pile number 1. If this resonated with you, please leave me a comment. Let me know if this was accurate. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you'd like more. I do wish you the best of luck in this endeavor, and I have every faith in the world that you will excel and you will exceed in this avenue, okay? Well, it's getting a little humid in here, so I'm just going to open a window. Oh, God. Okay, let me just try not to pull the microphone off. Thank goodness for timestamps. Okay, I'm going to put you down. Open that. There we go. All right. I'm back. Sorry if you had to watch that. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your pick a card reading. Excuse me, I had to have a sip of tea. Today's reading is how are you going to improve your mental health? So this can be anything from light suggestions, can kind of point to what you're going through. We'll just kind of see because every reading is different. So you've chosen pile number 2. We have our little owl here. Look at him. He's so cute. He's got his eyes and he's wise. Ooh, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Dang. Okay, so the owl to me is like symbolic of wisdom. Being able to see through the shadowy night and see through like life situations. So it's like wisdom. I'll kind of maybe jump back to the owl in this reading to see if there's anything that pops up. But we will also draw a card from our Heal Yourself. A little clarification. Wild. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Interesting. Okay, so we have Justice reversed. We have Page of Wands upright. We have the High Priestess reversed. We have the Two of Swords reversed. King of Wands reversed. And Page of Wands. So I feel like there's a lack of fairness in life right now for you. And I'm seeing that you have a very strong sense of who you want to be and what type of light you want to operate under. The High Priestess, like when I see this card, it's like, it's a card for light workers. It's a card for intuitives. It's a card for people that are empathic. Being reversed says maybe you're starting to realize that your energy is sometimes being taken advantage of and is not necessarily, like you're not necessarily taking people into your life that are going to be very good for you, and that are going to be like, I feel like you need to really take back control of life here because we have a lot of wands in here, and that's like, okay, you need to embrace that personal power that you have, because I feel like you might not be embracing it and you're letting like somebody else control your life and what you want and what feels good for you. So what I'm seeing here, just right off the wild card here, that's a really fiery card for me. That's like a Sagittarius, sort of like crazy, adventurous. I want to go out. I want to like learn new things. I want to be myself. I'm seeing that you definitely do have this like more quote unquote wild energy where you feel like you want to be free. You feel like you don't want to be chained down by life. You're very curious about life, and you want to go on adventures and you want to venture forth. And that's fantastic. I love that quality for you. And the interesting thing is like, it's very similar to the wands. You know, we have the wands here, which is also symbolic of fire energy. So you have a very passionate spirit. You might be a little bit impulsive. You might be a little bit fiery, like don't mess with me, like sort of thing, but not necessarily in a way that's like threatening or bad, but just in a way where you're able to stand your ground. For the most part, but I'm actually seeing that this part of yourself is kind of smushed. It's really interesting to me because I feel like with the King of Wands reversed energy here, it's almost like an imbalance of power. And with the Two of Swords as well, it's like this like understanding that you're in this space and you're in this situation that you mentally know isn't right, but you're continuing to hold on for whatever reason. Maybe it's a fear of starting over. Maybe it's a fear of just not knowing what you want or where you want to go in life. I want you to trust your intuition because I don't feel like you're doing that right now. I'm not seeing that there's this intuition that you're trusting, and you know that there's like an injustice. You know that there's something that's not right. And this is like your sense of fairness and your sense of balance is what works for you. That's what you're comfortable with. Everybody's got their own idea of what balance looks like. If your life does not feel like it's balanced, that's up to you to shift. That's up to you to change. Because this High Priestess energy is like, you're not really listening to your intuition as much as you should be. I feel like you may be getting messages or going through things that might be a little bit distorted, or maybe you're receiving messages that just are keep putting you in like a bad place energetically. And I feel like you have the right to be treated fair, whatever fairness looks like to you. Whatever life you want, like you want life to look like, you need to understand that you need to understand these deeper parts of yourself before you truly know what this balance looks like. Because if you're constantly like sitting there and being like, I am the judge, I am the almighty person that gets to decide what is right and what is wrong, that is great. But at the same time, I feel like just because your intuition is thwarted and you're not really listening to your soul, some of the choices and decisions you're making are not based on your highest self. It's not based on what feels good to you. You're making choices maybe out of impulse. You're making choices out of moment to moment experiences, and you're getting so caught up in your head. And that intuition is nowhere to be found because you're like really mentally processing it, that you're making impulsive choices. And whereas like, yes, impulsive choices can really create a lot of fun and a lot of adventure. And it's sort of like, feels like you're following your heart, but you're not. You're following your fear. You're following what you feel isn't in balance, what you feel isn't fair. And life isn't treating you fair because you're not treating yourself fair. You need to understand that if you want your life to look a certain way, if you want to open your heart and open your mind to people and to really allow yourself to flow, you need to understand that there needs to be a balance here. There needs to be a balance of your intuition as well as your ambition and emotion, because if there's not, then it's just going to be based off of injustice and unfairness, whereas like maybe your sense of justice and your sense of fairness is distorted because of the specific frame of mind that you're continuously being stuck in. I want you to know that this feeling inside of you, this niggling feeling that's like, hey, this isn't right, I can't trust anybody, can't do anything. Maybe you feel like you're really paranoid, or you're just not trusting people, and you might be being a little bit self-destructive in this sense as well. I just wanted to put that out there. But I want you to understand that that is not where your soul is. Your soul is wild, beautiful, incredible, lovely. You want to be unchained. You want to be free. You want to be open-hearted and open-minded. But wild doesn't equate to an imbalance of, you're not being wild if you're not allowing yourself to enjoy life and to understand that you need to let go of the control of everything, and understand that the need to control is coming from the subconscious self, the subconscious energy. And to me, it's interesting because we have the High Priestess right here, which is a 2. I hope that you can see that. I hope it's not too far away. A 2 there. And then we have a 2 of Swords here. And this is also an internalized energy. So this really, to me, expresses internal conflict and just wanting to take off the veil and wanting to be like, yeah, I want to see things clearly. But you're having a hard time because there's this High Priestess distortion there. Your intuition is not your intuition. It's ego. It's ego telling you that, hey, this isn't right. And it's like making you confused, so you're not making choices based off of what is true, but what is in your head and what is your sense of what right and wrong is. You're restricting your mind and restricting yourself too much. And within that, you're feeling trapped. You're feeling bitter. You're feeling angry. You're feeling fiery. You're feeling like you're not in control of your life. Because when we have the King of Wands here, this is an energy that is not being expressed. And when it is expressed, it might be a little bit angry. It might be a little bit kind of more controlling. I don't feel that you have the intention of being like this. I do not feel at all that you want to be angry, or you want to be temperamental, or you want to like get like snippy or like really hot-headed or anything like that. This is not necessarily to say that you're very explosive with it, but I'm seeing this as really an internal sort of thing that's happening with you, where internally you're just like, you're at war with yourself, and you're at war with the self that is like, okay, I already know everything that there is to know. I don't want to hear anybody else's opinion. I don't want to hear what anybody else has to say. I know what's right and wrong. it's conflicted with the Page of Wands, who is kind of like first starting out and just being like, yeah, you know, I'm this like naive new sort of energy that's going to be flowing. It's going to be making decisions off of passion. But I'm seeing that that passion has gotten distorted because you want to see life in this specific way, or you have these very specific standards. And I'm seeing that by restricting yourself to your own point of view and in kind of closing yourself in this kind of like bubble of I'm in control of everything is actually making you lose a lot of touch with sort of like the more free-spirited, fun, yeah, let's just go on an adventure sort of style energy that you embody. As well as I feel like you have a good intuitive gift and you want to see like balance in your life. You want people to treat you fairly and you want to treat others fairly. But your perception of that is just a little bit, you're just a little bit in your own way. That's not to say what you believe is wrong. I don't mean to say that. I mean to say that what you believe and what you're continuing to believe is making you lose touch with what's really important to you. And it's making you lose touch with the passion that you have. It's like this internal battle here where there's this King of Wands. It's just like, ugh, like, I really want you to embrace this King of Wands. This King of Wands is somebody that can be really warm, kind, loving, authoritative over other people. But when I'm seeing it's reversed, I'm seeing that maybe that energy is not being used to the best of its ability. So understand that taking time for yourself and understanding what you need and understanding what you want life to, like what you want a balanced life to feel like. Like, what do you want to feel in your heart? What do you want to feel intuitively? Like, what does that look like to you? Even if you can't attain it right now, just understand, what does an actual balanced life look like? Forget your judgments, forget the need to control every aspect of every situation. Just understand what that feels like, what that looks like at the end of the day, and you'll really be able to kind of get through this situation, and you'll be able to improve your mental health because you'll be living in a way where you're feeling less aggressive and you're feeling less confused, and you're really kind of jumping into sort of that more fun, playful energy that you have, which is of the wands. The king can learn a lot from the page because, you know, the page was what the king was when he first started out. Sometimes you forget that, you know, sometimes you forget that not everybody is on the same level as you and everybody has their own experience. So to not look at other people as something or people that are thwarting, but people that have a different experience from you. And that can offer you new perspectives in what balance looks like and in what your intuition can look like. And that's a big part of wisdom. You know, the king is wise because he doesn't just look at himself and only weigh his options. He looks at the world and he's like, okay. A true, strong and mighty king will look at himself and be like, okay, you know what? I can't trust that I know absolutely everything. You need to make sure that you can humble yourself to the point of understanding the lessons that people that are maybe in a different place from you know and can understand. And that way you will grow as a person and you will continue to feel like you're confident because you understand this responsibility as somebody that you do have an authoritative figure. Whether it be like in your stature, in your voice, in the way that you speak, you might not feel authoritative, which I'm definitely seeing here. You just feel like you're maybe just like being too bossy or whatever, but you carry an authoritative energy and you need to understand that that in fact has impacts over the decisions and choices you make. But ultimately, I want to give you love because there's nothing wrong with being like this. There's nothing wrong with feeling like you're losing your way. But understand that you need to make sure that you embrace the nature of who you are. The more you try to deny the changes and the shifts that are happening within you, the more you're going to feel this resistance and this frustration because you're not living how you want to live. Put away everybody's opinions. Put away anybody that has authority or power over you, whether it be an aspect of yourself or somebody in your life. Put that away for a second and look at yourself as beginning. As being like, what can I learn? What can I do? What can I be? And stop constantly letting other people make choices for you. Because I'm seeing that you need to take back your power. You need to take back your intuition because your mind is a bit scrambled right now. I hope that makes sense. And I don't mean to be too harsh on you, but I feel like this is a very strong message that comes across. And I want to send you all the love in the world because I 100% believe that you're going to be able to take back control of your life by really being responsible and taking responsibility for your actions. And learning what that balance looks like to you. Because this Justice card reversed is like you have a battle within side of yourself. You need to understand that side of yourself and the ego and the lighter energy and how that conflicts in order to really like persevere in life and to be happy. Boom, just like that. I hope that reading made sense for you. If it did, please leave a comment and let me know how it pertained to you. If you have any suggestions for future pick a card readings, feel free to leave that in the comments as well. Like and subscribe for more videos and have a fabulous day. Hello, pile number 3. I almost was like 4, 3, what? Pile number 3. So we're going to pull an oracle card for you here, Pride. We're going to take a look at what you can do to improve your mental health. And this will kind of give you some ideas on how you can improve things, maybe some of the things you're struggling with. Take it or leave it. Whatever resonates with you, please take it. If it doesn't feel good to you, don't take it. Okay, this is a general reading, so we have a few messages that might come in through for others. But yeah, keep open-minded and open-hearted, and we'll get started with this pretty little turtle. Look at that. That's nice. I believe the crystal on the back is either jade or aventurine, and both of those are really of the heart, really green energy. And when I see the turtle upright, it's just like swimming through life and also carrying your home on your back. So it's like this need to feel safe and this need for safety. But also, sea turtles can live for a very, very long time. So it also represents kind of like wisdom in a sense and just longevity. So we'll take a peek. We have the hanging man. Ooh, he's hanging from his foot though, not his neck, so that's better. The Empress, the Emperor. Wow, that's really interesting. 2 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. So we're going to kind of look at some of the heavier things that are going on. So I just want to make a story for this. So cards kind of tell a bit of a story here. So let's take a look. Alrighty. Ace of Wands. So you've been having a hard time starting up new projects and making decisions. When I see this energy, I feel like you might be overindulging right off the bat because we have the 9 of Cups, which sometimes symbolizes like drinking too much or partying too much or just like indulging in life in a way that's not necessarily productive to you. So it's an overindulgent lifestyle. And almost being addicted to stimulation and almost being addicted to emotional fulfillment. So it's like a constant need to feel like you need to fill your cup with something when all of the things that you're filling your cup with are just, they're not great. They're not good for you, emotionally fulfilling. So this can represent a substance thing, and this can also represent just what you need in order to feel emotionally fulfilled. So you feel like you should be happier in life than you are. And I don't want you to feel that way because life goes through phases. And you might feel more ambitious one time and you might feel like a little bit more low another day. But I want you to understand that the 9 of Cups, to me, that's like, okay, you're doing your best to feel emotionally fulfilled, but I'm feeling like maybe you're just not at that point yet where you're just like, okay, I have all these cups, I have all these ideas, I have all these plans, I have all these like emotional connections around me, but it's feeling like it's not enough. It's not satisfying you in a way that maybe it did before. And when I see this, it's like sometimes that's really hard to admit to yourself because there's that card in there. There's pride, and this isn't necessarily like pride like with other people and being pretentious or anything like that. I'm seeing like maybe you embody a little bit more pride. You want to feel proud of yourself. You want to feel good. You want to feel like you're achieving. And this is really maybe like this lack of achievement and this lack of progression is maybe making you feel stagnant. And you're just like, okay, like you feel like you're not really moving forward in your goals and in like life choices. So that's making you feel like you don't have control over the situation, and it's making you essentially feel like you don't have any new fulfillment because you're having a hard time starting new things and new activities. And any activity you think of starting, it's just kind of like, oh my gosh, like I can't really make a decision. I can't really make a choice. It's also where that 2 of Pentacles comes from. As you can see, like she's here, she's in the Cinderella. She's like, do I stay or do I go? It's sort of like that that sort of life choice and that life decision where she's having a hard time choosing between different avenues and like, what do I want my life to look like? What does make me happy? What will make me happy? And then having this Ace of Wands reversed as well, to me, that's like you're having a hard time like getting your passion and finding something that motivates you. Maybe you just feel like a little bit low and a little bit depressed and depleted in a lot of ways. But understand that the choices that you make are not going to negatively affect you in terms of like what you want to appear to the world. So this is all internal energy. A lot of the stuff that you're struggling with right now is all inside of you. This isn't something that you're necessarily expressing to the world, or if you are, then I feel like maybe you're keeping a little bit more quiet about it, or you're dealing with a lot of things on your own. So this inability to make choices and make decisions, as well as this inability, or I guess not inability, but resistance to start something new. Maybe because you're overthinking it and you're just like, will this even make me happy? Like, what's the point? What even is happiness? And just being like maybe a little bit scared to fail. And I feel like that pride definitely does have like an impact in things. It's like, I don't want to start something that's going to make me fail, because then you'll feel like you really are emotionally unfulfilled. But this lack of like being able to start something is creating the stagnation within you. And you're just like, you know what? I am capable of doing more than this. And you're refusing to kind of like admit that to yourself. And you're just kind of being stuck in the cycle of just being like, yeah, I'm here, whatever. I'm just going to ignore everything. I'm just going to choose to just kind of like be like, put my blinders up and not make a choice and not start anything because I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to like lose, my sense of direction. Sorry, I just hesitated there for a second. I got a little distracted by the Emperor card because the Emperor was like, hello, don't forget about me. And the Emperor is like, okay, it's interesting because we have these two guys here. We have the Empress and the Emperor. And so when I see them both in one aspect, that's really interesting to me, because I feel like, yeah, you are a really kind, well-founded, beautiful, empathic person that's very in touch with their like kind of sort of more feminine energy. She's holding a ring with the cross on it. You know, that's a feminine symbol of the yin, of the kind of nurturing and embodying and caring. But maybe you're lacking like a little bit of structure. And that's what I see when I see the Emperor. The Emperor is the guy that kind of takes care of the country, whereas the Empress, she's the one that takes care of the people. So it's like the practical things in life versus sort of like your emotions about things in life. And there's a bit of conflict about this because you have a lot of heart and you have a lot of drive in wanting to go forward with your ideas and with your things, but maybe you're kind of like not sure what you need to do in a more logical, practical sense, or what steps that you need to take, or even if you want to pursue anything. The Emperor is more of an externalized energy as it embodies the yang, but we also have the yin energy. So I want you to understand that even though you might not feel like you have the tools to go forward with the Emperor, understanding practically what you need to do and literally laying something out for yourself and sticking to it as sort of like a routine is going to help you, because the Emperor is like, okay, you know, I want to put this energy outwards, but a lot of it's still inside of you. So we have this internal energy here, as well as the Empress, which is kind of also more of a yin internal energy. And you're wanting to put that energy out there. You're the only person that's standing in your way. I want you to let go of the fear of failure. Okay? I want you to let go of looking for this particular thing to fulfill you emotionally, and instead look at it more as a practical sense. As maybe you've kind of felt like you're sitting on your ass for quite a while now, as the Hanging Man suggests, and you're ready to cut yourself down. You've taken this period of suspension, taken this period of a pause, and really evaluated life from where you were hanging. And now you're like, okay, you know what? Like, I have the heart for this, but what do I need to do? And what do I want to abide by? What kind of values do I hold? What kind of person do I want to be in the world? What kind of person, not for anybody else either, just for yourself, what kind of person do I want to be? And what kind of values do I want to embody? Because when the Emperor comes up, that's like somebody of traditional values, somebody that is unmoving and unshaking. Sometimes this place of empathy can keep us open, but a little bit too open, where we don't have boundaries and we don't have structure for ourselves. And that's extremely important, especially when you operate on an emotional wavelength because otherwise you'll just be completely carried by your emotion, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with being dictated by emotion, but it doesn't always lead to the most productive choices and decisions. But understanding that that is your thing, that maybe you do kind of have a little bit more of like that sensitive, I'm just going to do what I feel like in the moment sort of energy. Creating a structure around your life and around yourself, around the situation. Consulting people that do have a higher wisdom than you. Being a little bit disciplinary on yourself. You need to give yourself some self-discipline as well, as I'm seeing that the Emperor is coming through there. And yeah, don't be afraid of failure, and don't be afraid of looking stupid or about what other people think or anything like that, because I see that you are capable and you have a warm heart, and the people that are going to be backing you through this, like, they're there for you. And you need to understand that it's okay to take those shifts, to take those changes. But just understand that the place that you're in isn't emotionally fulfilling for you. And if you want to make a change, that's completely up to you. All you have to do is take one step at a time. You're in this period of suspension. Take a look at your life. Take a look at everything around you. And really listen to your heart and what you want to put forward, what you want to put out there. Don't overthink it. Just let it come. And you know more about yourself than you think you do. It's just usually the mental chatter of everybody else and what expectations are on us and everything that kind of gets a little confusing sometimes. So understand that you do have options, and you are able to kind of get out of this space and improve the state of mind that you're in. And I'm fully confident that you're going to be able to do that and embrace the happiness in your life and some of the joy that comes with that. But do continue to be this beautiful, loving, kind self of yours. The world needs more of you. That's really what I'm getting for pile number 3. And you have your turtle. So nice. If this resonated with you, I'd love a thumbs up. Give me a comment if it resonated and in the way that maybe it resonated with you. Subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. Hello, pile number 3. I wanted to tell you right off the bat, have a beautiful day. That's a really cute charm to pick. I love it. I got it at a store, and it's got like a really pretty, like a little butterfly pattern on the back, so it's very transformative. Ooh, very nice. So we have that there. We'll kind of pop that to the side, see if there's anything that comes up in the reading that may pertain to it. If not, it could just be a really pretty charm for you. So we're going to take a look how we're going to improve your mental health. And this is going to kind of look and kind of observe the different aspects of yourself and maybe some of the things you're struggling with. And I'm going to give you some tools on how you can improve and work on some things. So we have the 5 of Swords. See that there? She's upside down. We have the Angel de la Nuit. We have the 6 of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords reversed. We have the 7 of Pentacles reversed. And we have the Tower reversed. Holy smokers, this amount of like reverse cards in here is like breaking my brain. Okay, so we have these, and let's pull you an Oracle card as well. That one. Discover your life purpose. Okay. So, right off the bat, what I'm getting is that you're feeling a little bit defensive right now in life, and things are maybe feeling a little heavier than you'd like them to. You feel like you've kind of lost a little bit of the direction that you've been wanting to go. And I'm feeling like just because of that, like sort of 5 of Swords energy, that to me is like, it's conflict. And you're done with conflict. You're done with feeling like the world is kind of against you. And like you're recognizing a lot of the toxicity that's around you right now. And I want you to understand that this toxicity is something that you don't want to be a part of anymore. okay? Maybe it was something that you were stuck in for a very long time, and you're just like, okay, like, how am I supposed to get out of this? Like, how am I supposed to navigate through life's like more difficult challenges when I'm surrounded by so much conflict? And this conflict is something that's dragging you down, and it's making you feel just kind of like heavy. Like, why are you even in this sort of dispute? Like, these people are having arguments and having battles and having issues that don't even make sense to you. And you're like, what is going on? I'm seeing that it's kind of making you stuck. You're feeling like stuck in the night. You're feeling like you're a little bit trapped in this state, and you're feeling like, okay, is this like how life is just going to be? Is it just going to be fighting and conflict all the time? Normally the Angel de la Nuit upright is kind of signifying feeling like the night is ending. But at this time, I still feel like you're currently, you're currently sitting in this state where you're just kind of like, okay, there's like a lot of stuff going on. Is this kind of like, is this like my eternity? Is this what I'm going to be like subject to for like ever? You're feeling really extremely frustrated because the people in your life aren't listening to you. And the people in your life do not want to resolve these conflicts, which is the biggest thing that you need to recognize. It's like, yeah, okay, like there's a lot of stuff happening around you, but they're not productive conflicts. They're not productive conversations. It's just like these people are refusing to look at you like, hey, like you're trying to be optimistic. And I honestly feel like you are, because you give a lot. And you give a lot, especially in a way of like making people feel secure, which is what the Six of Pentacles says. You're a person that wants to see the people in your life be stable, and you want people to get along, and you want to create a solid foundation, and you want to be like, okay, like I just want to create a life where I can feel stable, solid, and I can allow other people in my life to embody those traits as well. But I'm seeing that the people, they're kind of stuck in their heads. They're stuck in their own mind in this internal conflict. And no matter how much you give, you feel like you're just not getting through. You're feeling like your words, your practicality, your logic is not being appreciated. And I think that's really unfortunate, because I see you as a very giving person and a very loving person. And you're not afraid to put in the hard work to people. You're not afraid to show up and be like, hey, like I'm not giving up on you because I still want to help. I want to help. Like, let me help. Please let me help. And you give what you can. But I'm also seeing that like you're almost blaming yourself in a way, because like you keep giving and giving and giving, and it's just not being received. But some people aren't ready to receive what you have to give. And coming from that place of understanding will allow you to take a step back, and instead of blaming yourself for the issues and the conflicts in your life, you can really be like, okay, what can I give to myself? What can I really invest myself in, not just financially, but time-wise, practical-wise, that will allow me to feel fulfilled? I think you need to step away from some of this conflict, not in the way of just completely checking out, but being able to really invest in yourself and invest in relationships and people that will feed your soul. Because this stuff, yes, it's heavy, and yes, that might just be a life thing and situations that you can't really ignore, but you need to make sure that you feed your soul, because otherwise you'll be really depleted at the end of the day. It's important to focus on your passions and your desires and what you can do for yourself, which is what really brings us to this card, Discover Your Life Purpose. So, you know, as much as you are a helper, you're a person that wants to help, you're a person that wants to give your 2 cents and be like, hey, I want to solve this problem, let's work through it, let's figure it out. I feel like you put so much time and energy into this stuff that you need to make sure that you take a peek at yourself and be like, what are my passions? What do I like? Like, what is good for me? And understand that in times where there's this conflict happening, you don't feel like you can offer any assistance or any help, and there's a stagnation in that, you can continue to create, and you can continue to open your life to new avenues of creativity. So all of your mind and all of your energy isn't just put on this situation, so that you can continue to grow as a person while still continuing to support these people if you choose so. This can be a family member, this can be a relationship. But understand, you give a lot. You give a lot. So never sell yourself short in thinking that you don't. At this point, you're feeling frustrated, because I feel like you planted so many seeds. You've done so many great things in your life. And you're like, okay, like I want to wait for them to kind of like pay off and grow. But I feel like you're not feeling like they're paying off. You're like, no matter how much I give, so there's the 6 here and we have the 7 here. The 6 is like, okay, yeah, you know what? I give a lot. But the 7 is like, but like you gave a lot, but like what are you seeing from it? What kind of results are you seeing from it? And if you're not seeing any results, understand that there might be a way that you can change and shift that energy so that it works to your benefit, so that you don't constantly feel like you're being overlooked, or you're being taken for granted, or that you're getting sucked into other people's problems and arguments. Because like I said, you can plant the seeds in somebody else's garden, but it's their choice if they want to water them or not. It's their choice if they want to care for them or not. And that's not up to you. And I feel like I'm really, really happy that you are a part of this world, because you do care. You do want to help. And you want to help in a way like the best that you can. And just because there's no cups in here, it's not to say that you're not emotional, but you're very intellectually based, as well as like practical based. But I'm saying there's a lot of intellectual brainstorming sort of energy. You're pretty sharp to the point sort of deal. And which is what's frustrating you, because you're getting a little confused about your sense of what is right and wrong, because you're kind of getting like swept up into other people's swords, that I feel like it's very important for you to be able to kind of embrace new intellectual ideas, because right now you're being like a little bit thwarted. Your mind space is being so clouded and taken up by all this other stuff that you're having a hard time cutting through the fog and seeing things as they are and seeing situations as they are, because you're just in this place where you're like, I want to give. And you're getting wrapped up in this conflict and a lot of this confusion and a lot of this deceit, but you're ready to be done with it. You're ready to be like, okay, I know I need to cut loose. I need to break free from this, but it's a steady progress, because a lot of this stuff that's in here, these reversed cards here, to me that says internal energy. Internal energy is sometimes a little bit trapped. Whereas like you're having a hard time getting it out. But this is a great basis and a great place to understand where you're at, and you can make choices based on your understanding of this. Again, general reading, so if this applies for you, fantastic. If not, take what you need. The Tower here as well, it's kind of signaling more of a major transition or change. So it's almost like a resistance to change, as well as like understanding that maybe the things that you have done in the past haven't paid off. So I feel like the foundation that maybe you built this basis on isn't very stable. I want you to take a look at what's been happening in your life. I feel like a lot of the worst is over, just based on, the Tower, it's already struck. Like it's already happened, which is good because it's in the past. So now is your time to kind of look at everything, like what do I want to put my energy into? What will pay off for me? What will feel right mentally? And what will allow my mind to flow correctly? Without being thwarted and without being confused by other people's conflict or meaningless conflict, but just connecting intellectually with other people on that level, and seeing interpersonal relationships and just life in general pay off. That's going to be like, okay, that's going to feel good. That's the foundation that you want to build a tower on, the feel good feeling, not the uncertainty, not the mental clouds, not the I'm putting so much energy into this, but I'm not getting anything out of it. It needs to be built on feeling a sense of confidence and a sense of stability, of just being like, yeah, you know what? This is a really good foundation for me, and I want to keep building on that. And discovering what that looks like, which is the discover your life purpose. Build your tower on things that you want to see grow and expand in your life. And I feel like you'll no longer feel like you're putting a lot of work in and just not getting anything out of it, which is the reversed aspect of this, but you will actually see the fruits blossom on your trees, and you'll be able to pick them and know that that's because of your hard work and a lot of the things that you put into it, rather than giving and giving and giving and just not feeling like you're getting anything back. That's really what I'm getting from pile number 4. If this card reading resonated with you, please give me a thumbs up or a comment. Let me know what you thought of your reading, whether it be accurate or not. Subscribe for more, and I will see you next time. And good luck with all this. Hello, pile number 5. It's always nice to get to the last pile of the reading and being like, heck yeah. I'm going to take a sip of tea so I can push through with enough energy and enthusiasm to keep y'all entertained. Okay, so we have pile number 5, which we have this really badass like axe, like it's awesome. Wait, no, come on. There we go. I don't know if can you see that. Yeah, so we have the axe here. So I'm going to put that aside. This reading is going to be about how you can improve your mental health and your mental health situation. Again, this is no replacement for medication or doctors or anything like that. This is just going to give you a few tidbits, little pointers, and maybe explain a bit of what's going on in your life right now. Take what you need, as this is a general reading. Sometimes it applies for you. Other times the message is for another person. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy. Two of Cups. Okay. Ooh, Three of Cups. Yes, yes. 10 of Wands. The Empress, Temperance, and Strength. Holy smokers, you got some powerful cards here. So I just want to say that you're going through a lot of personal transformation right now. And I'm really happy to see that. It is definitely feel a little bit heavy just because there are some major shifts that are happening here. And especially the axe, the axe is like, boom, just like cut through everything and just break through everything. We're going to pull an oracle card for you here too, just to kind of get an idea of what's up. Taking off your mask. Wowsies. Okay. So again, I'm feeling like there's a shift that's happening in you right now. And I'm seeing that you're really connecting with people on a way that you've never really connected with them before. And, to me, that's really incredible. We have the Two of Cups. So this is representing sort of like a real connecting energy. So you're really opening your heart and opening your mind to other people, to new ideas. You're kind of finding this emotional fulfillment through engaging with people that have a similar perspective to you and that want to connect with you on that emotional level and kind of on that deeper level. So this is kind of like, this can represent a relationship. This can represent a friendship. Any relationship in general doesn't have to be romantic, but this dynamic is really creating a lot of foundation for you. So I'm really happy to see that you have that influence in your life, as well as I'm seeing the Three of Cups, which is a celebratory card, which honestly, this is one of the happiest readings that I've that I've done. You really like to live it up. You like to enjoy life. You like to hang out with friends. You like to dance, party, just enjoy the little things in life that make you happy and just kind of like feel abundant and just like you're overflowing and this connection is happening. That's wonderful and beautiful and incredible. And I'm seeing, yeah, again, in this, there's like the three people. It's the support system that you have that's just like, that makes you want to dance. And that's something that's really good for you in life. So continue to trust in these two types of dynamics and these two types of relationships so that you don't have to continue to walk through life feeling overburdened. And to me, like the 10 of Wands reversed is like, wow, you sure carry a lot. And there was a lot of things and a lot of stuff that's happened over the last little while that has made you feel like your back was going to break. So many decisions that you had to make and so many, just a lot of decisions, a lot of choices, a lot of like, I have to move things myself. But I'm seeing that with this new energy in your life, you're going to be like dropping a lot of that. It's the end of this phase. You're not going to be carrying as much as you used to because of allowing these types of people into your life and allowing that sort of energy to flow is going to be really beautiful and really productive for you because you're going to see that life isn't going to just feel like this heaviness. It's the end of a phase. You can start again. And this next phase, I feel, is huge on connection and happiness and joy and feeling fulfilled and just allowing yourself to put down some of those wands and just let somebody else carry them for a while. And that's amazing. For like the positive aspect of the cards, I would say that that's one of the most positive piles that you could have chosen. However, now let's not forget these guys over here. So this represents the heavier stuff of this transition that you're going through, all right? So because of some of the things that you've been through in the past and some of the levels of exhaustion that you've been through, your strength isn't feeling like the greatest. You're questioning whether or not you can hold on to the reins of life right now. And you're questioning whether or not you can make the right decisions and the right choices for your life. And especially in a sense of making sort of like entrepreneurial, sort of like moving life forward sort of choices. Just because like last time you felt like it was too much, like you don't want to get there again and you're scared that you're just like, okay, well, I can take the bull by the horns, but am I going to be able to hold on? coupled with this feeling of temperance, where you're feeling like you got to this place where you were so imbalanced that maybe you didn't even recognize yourself. The temperance card is a lot about emotion. So it's a lot about maybe having a hard time balancing those types of emotion. And I am seeing that that's something that you definitely struggled with. And maybe you're still learning how to balance that and how to kind of embody some of this more lighter energy with transitioning through this kind of like, okay, I'm going to put stuff down sort of deal. But I want you to know that this is a part of this transition. It's a part of the shift. And the whole journey is kind of finding how you'll find that balance and just being genuine and being just true to yourself is a big thing. Like, be true to yourself, because that's what's really popping up here when it says take off your mask. Don't continue to associate yourself with people that you don't feel this ease of connection with. You don't have to. You don't have to take on other people's problems if you don't feel like there's a mutual energy exchange happening there, okay? You want to feel like the interpersonal relationships that you have in your life ease the burden on you, not give you more burden. And taking off your mask and not being a people pleaser and not allowing yourself to be taken advantage of or taken for granted. The people in your life are going to help lift you up. And the strength and temperance card to me is just like, yeah, right now you're still at this like period where you're uncertain of yourself and you're uncertain of how you're going to like make your life look and help with the balance. But I am seeing that you are willing to put in the work of sustaining a good balance of relationship and enjoyment in life, which is really what that Cups energy says to me. So I'm seeing that a lot of the big shifts that are going to happen, or might be some of the deeper feelings and the deeper emotions that you're experiencing. But just because you're experiencing self-doubt or lack of confidence one day does not mean you're not going to be able to get up and embrace the energy of the Empress. The Empress card is a very strong yin feminine type energy where she can take care of the world. She can take care of herself and the family that's around her. She's able to nurture, she's able to care. And that energy is extremely important in life, because if we don't have somebody that's there that's like, hey, I care, I want to like grow with you, I want to expand with you, then you're not going to really go anywhere. But I'm seeing that you are open and you have an open energy. It's just that maybe the situations and the people that you've encountered before have turned you into somebody that you're not, and has like made you doubt this aspect of yourself and make you see like your emotions are like kind of like near weakness. But I don't agree. I do not agree, because you definitely had a lot on your plate, and a lot of people didn't really understand even what they were putting on top of you when they were just asking you to do thing after thing after thing, because you carry so much for so many people that I think it's your turn. It's your turn to enjoy life. It's your turn to feel fulfilled. And there's nothing wrong and there's nothing selfish about that. And when those people come into your life where you feel free and you feel liberated and you're like, wow, this actually isn't a lot of work, that's great. That's the kind of people that you want in your life, because they will be on the same level as you and have the same standards as you. Like, they want peace, they want harmony, and they want enjoyment. Harmony and enjoyment. But don't base your decisions and your life off of people that treated you the way that you don't deserve to be treated. And just because maybe you hit a little bit of a heavy area in life doesn't mean that you're stuck there. Interestingly enough, I see the number 2 here on this card, as well as the 2 of Cups. So that's all about interpersonal relationships and flourishing these relationships, not only with other people in your life, but like with yourself. So look at yourself clearly in the mirror and be like, what kind of person am I truly in my soul without anybody else affecting my energy? Who am I? And whoever you are and what you stand for, you will naturally attract people of the same energy. Whereas like when we feel like our strength is wavering, or maybe we're imbalanced, sometimes we have a tendency to attract unbalanced people, and we see them and we're like, oh, I can fix you, I can help. But that doesn't get you anywhere. That just creates more conflict and more stagnation. So what I need you to do is be battle person. Get out your axe, and just like the Empress, hold the axe in her hand and be like, I'm just going to cut through the bullshit and we're just going to get straight to the point here. And trust your gut in that sense as well, because it's a lot about feeling. And it's okay, because I'm seeing that this heavier period, it's a big transition for you. So this isn't a light transition for you. This is a complete shift of thinking and maybe putting down things that you've been carrying for years. So it's going to feel a little bit difficult and a little bit different. But in that, understand that that is going to bring you to a new place where you don't feel this and you don't surround yourself with people that are essentially toxic for you and that make you feel like you're carrying so much. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting for pile number 5. I'm hoping this resonated with you. I would love to hear your comments if it did. If not, that's all right too. Just take what you need. Subscribe for more, and sending you all the love in the world. I will catch you later.